you're watching Balanced Health, Your Body, Your Choice. And we have some more viewer questions for Dr. McKeever, but you had some other, actually, a couple of questions.
Well, there's one wave of thing that's happening in cardiology across the country that, in fact, Edwards Heart Hospital and Midwest Heart Specialists, of which Dr. McKeever heads up, has been particularly involved in, and that is going out to high schools and doing some non-invasive heart work there, because it seems like you can't pick up the newspaper anymore without reading about a high school athlete who, and I hate to be so, candid, but who has dropped dead. Right. Tell us about what you're doing with that.
Well, thanks for allowing me to tell that, because this is something that is near and dear to us. You can't imagine anything worse than, as a parent, getting a call from the coroner that your athlete or your daughter, your son dropped dead in gym class, and it happens more frequently than any of us realize throughout the country. And the number one cause of that is a condition where the heart becomes too thick. It's called idiopathic hypertrophic subaortic stenosis. Big term, but this is the most common cause of this. What happens is you exercise and suddenly your heart goes out of rhythm and you drop dead. The problem with it is that it's difficult to diagnose, and we followed the Italians who have been trying to screen for this and have done a pretty good job of it by just taking a simple electrocardiogram. And so what we've done is gone to our local school districts and have engaged the parents as being screeners, have taught them how to do EKGs, electrocardiograms, and then we'll have a day at the school where we'll screen the freshman class or the sophomore class. And we've screened now about 50,000 kids.
Just Midwest Heart?
Yes.
Wow.
And we're trying to expand that beyond what we do alone, but it has already paid some dividends. We've found children who are at risk that didn't know about it, and
we'll talk about that. 50,000 kids. What did you? 1/10 of 1%. What did you roughly?
About 1% have some abnormality. Now, not all the abnormalities are life-threatening. But if you find one kid,
I mean, 1/10 of 1% is 50. 1%, right? It's 500. So that's an awful lot of kids, and to ever think that could be your kid, and you don't forensically after the fact, you're seeing this thickening of the heart. Are you seeing any other? Is it by race? You see more any particular race, or are you seeing these? Because a lot of these kids are athletic. It's not that these kids are falling into the obese category, right?
Right. It hits all age groups and all ethnicities.
How would you treat them then if you saw that they had a problem?
Well, the medications are usually the thing, but sometimes they have to be, you have to withhold exercise from them because that's dangerous. There are some surgical procedures that sometimes need to be done that can affect it. But you very definitely can decrease the incidence of sudden death.
My sister, I wonder, this is sounding familiar to me, and my sister's granddaughter, she was I think about 13 or 14, and she was in class. She wasn't exercising, but she's an athlete. She runs and everything. But she was in class and just fell out of her desk. And they called for the emergency people, and it took her into the hospital, and they told the parents later that she did actually die. But they were able to revive her and I believe put her on a medication. Could that have been this condition?
It's possible, yes.
It was just the scariest thing,
We call this program Young Hearts for Life, and it's a special thing that we feel obligated to do, even though we're not pediatric cardiologists.
Well, I'm so glad you're doing that.
If a principal or somebody was watching right now and they said, geez, I'd like for my high school to get engaged in that, what do they do?
Call Midwest Heart. Dr. Joe Marek, M-A-R-E-K, in our group is heading this up. This was his kind of baby, and he's run with it. And we try to do it free of charge to the kids. And
that's great. Well, you're saving a lot of lives that way.
Yeah, we'll put that on our website. So when they link to our website, Shirley, we'll have that information on there. We've got about 45 seconds to break. I would like you to talk to the kids our viewing audience, or at least through the kids, through their parents to the kids, who are taking ephedra and these caffeine stimulants for workout recovery and to enhance their workouts. Please let them know the dangers of this stuff, because
that is about as bad as it gets, because they're being victimized by these drugs. What happens is that it puts you at risk to having a life-threatening electrical problem with the heart.
Oh, my
so your
goodness.
heart will fibrillate, or it stops beating.
we have to go to break. Can we pick that up
we'll
when we
pick
come
it up,
back?
yeah.
Because I would like to elaborate on that so
I
they
would too.
understand
That's
how this is
very
happening.
important. Well, if you'd like more information on Dr. McKeever, visit Kylia.com, and we'll be right back with your healthy habits, so don't go away. Well, I love this segment of the show. It's time for our healthy habit of the day, because it's our goal here on Balanced Health to give you tips that are practical, inexpensive, quick and easy that you can incorporate into your lifestyle. And we actually already touched on this earlier in this show, but what is our healthy tip for the day?
Our healthy habit today, Shirley, is so apropos for this show. It's basically get out there and get a heart scan.
Right.
It can be a life-saving, inexpensive, whether it's $150 or $250. If you went to anybody's budget, I guarantee you they can find the money for that. So get out there and get it done. Just, if your husband won't do it, tell him you're taking him to get him a pizza, and then just pull in there and get that real quick. And you can get him the pizza afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, you were talking about a very important topic before we went to break.
I just would like Dr. McKeever to explain to our viewers what happens when these kids take this ephedra and these caffeine stimulants in order to get bigger muscles or run faster or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, what happens to the heart is what we call the fibrillation threshold, the threshold that allows the heart to stop beating and fibrillate lowers, and so the heart becomes irritable, and so when the heart becomes irritable, you get extra beats. If those extra beats fall in the wrong part of the cardiac cycle, the heart stops beating altogether and fibrillates, and you die.
Yeah.
In addition to that, it has other effects by reducing heat loss, by eliminating sweating, or at least decreasing sweating, and you talked about that.
Well,
And so basically, your body just burns up.
so don't do it. Bottom line is, do not do it.
Yeah, it's really
It's pathetic that kids would go to that thinking that.
Yeah, that kind of pressure. We only have like about 45 seconds, and I'd really like to know what's on the horizon for heart treatment. What big things are coming down the pipe?
The things that are not related to coronary disease are kind of exciting. Valve surgery has been around for a long time. We are now developing ways in which valves can be replaced without surgery through catheters similar to what we do, stents and angioplasty.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah,
Who would have thunk
I know.
it?
Well,
Well,
thank
Dr.
you so
McKeever,
much for
it's
being
been an absolute pleasure. You've
Yes.
blessed a lot of people with your information. So if you have questions about natural remedies, healthy recipes, or need some quick tips on how to improve your heart health, email them to balancedhealth@tln.com, or give us a call at 800-308-6750 and leave a message in the health mailbox, and we'll answer them on the air. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Balanced Health.
Thank you, Dr. McKeever.